We are now joined by Noble Eiaseb, founder and executive director of the Association of Young Generation in Nuclear of Namibia, known as NAM YGN. He shares insights on the organization's growth, his recent Continental appointment, and NAM YGN's role in upcoming nuclear and uranium discussions. Good evening, Noble, and welcome to Daily Roundup.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Just to get into it for viewers who may not be familiar with it, what is NAM YGN and how has the organization been growing in recent years?
So the Association of Young Generation in Nuclear of Namibia, known as NAM YGN, is an NGO formed to create a pipeline for the coming industry. So what we want to do is we want to create a strong human capital, skilled and upskilled, in order to ensure that when the industry does indeed come to fore, we actually have people from Namibia able to actually be in charge of this organization and also be in charge of this sector. There too, what we are trying to do is we are trying to connect the young generation, we're trying to connect industry players and so forth, and also create some sort of a peer-to-peer communication that opens up this industry that is coming.
Noble, when I hear of nuclear, I'm thinking of war and weapons. Please explain to us a little bit more on that.
Thank you for bringing that up, because one of the critical areas of NAM YGN is also the demystification of this thing called nuclear. Because as you are saying, and rightfully so, is that most of the time when people are hearing nuclear, they just think about nuclear bombs or power plants. So what we want to do now is we want people to understand, how do we let a layperson understand that nuclear can be used in medicines, it can be used in research and advancement of society, and how can it be used in agriculture, whether that is in irradiation and so forth. So what we want to do is also we want to create that awareness and also demystify nuclear for the populace, and also create that sort of a friendly aspect to nuclear, because that is where we are going. Because one thing that we want to do as a country is we want to stop importing electricity. We want to stop having exorbitant prices, so we have to import, let's say, medicines. So what we want to do is we need to come to a situation where how do we take our people, how do we take our young people and also make them understand what skills do they have? How are we taking those skills and upskilling them? Because we have, as we are saying, we have a lot of graduates on the street. How do we just take those graduates and upskill them into this coming sector?
Now, Noble, you were recently appointed to serve on the Continental Communications and Publicity Committee of the Africa Young Generations in Nuclear. What does this appointment mean for you personally, and also just for NAM YGN as a Namibian organization?
Thank you. So first of all, let's start on the professional level and for NAM YGN, because that's what is the aim here. Because one thing that we want to do is we are very, very deliberate about ensuring that Namibia's voice is being heard, whether that is now on the national level, regional level, continental or international level. So there was vacancies on the committees, and I had applied, and you go through a vigorous, let's say, vetting process and so forth, and you are shortlisted, and then you see who has made it and so. And I was glad to understand that I had been one of the successful people to be appointed. So one thing that I want to understand on a personal level, it would have to be perhaps that your work that you have been doing is actually being recognized on a continental level. And also, if we have to look at the NAM YGN, one thing that I'm always adamant about is I want to ensure that young people's voices are actually being heard where it's important. So how do we do that? If we are being heard on a national level, on a regional level, if we are sitting at the table where the right questions are being asked, where our voice can be heard, where our opinions can be heard, it's very, very important. So I believe this is a great appointment, not only for myself on a personal level, but also for NAM YGN and Namibia as in general.
Now let's turn our conversation to the upcoming uranium conference. When and where will it take place, and why is it important platform for NAM YGN and also just the whole organization and its purpose that it serves?
So the uranium conference that is upcoming is being organized by the Geological Society of Namibia. They will perhaps have more in-depth on all of that, but where it fits us is it will be happening in Swakopmund at the Swakopmund Entertainment Center from the 26th to the 27th of March. And we have been privileged because everything that you do at these prestigious events, you have to apply for certain slots. So we've been privileged that we will be actually presenting a poster at this international sort of event, and also trying to bring in how does the young voice get fit into this great initiatives? How do we ensure that nuclear safeguards are in place? How do we ensure that youth leadership is being heard? How do we ensure that anything that has to do with the future of the country is not only being heard in the sense of the future, future, but also being heard currently with the current young people? And how do we ensure that the young voices are being heard? So our poster presentation is something that we are very, very grateful about, and I've been privileged that I will be the one that is presenting along with the team, obviously.
Nice. So your role there at the conference will be to present that poster?
Yes, it will definitely be to present the poster and to ensure that the young generation's voice is being heard amongst their stalwarts, because great experts in whether that is in the geological aspect, whether that is in the uranium value chain, are going to be present. And we're not only going to have local people, we're also going to have international people there. So as I said before, I don't want to go ahead of the geological society's work that they are going to obviously speak on, but where it fits us, we are privileged to be given that slot.
Now, Noble, overall, what does these milestones from a continental representation to conference participation say about NAM YGN's strides and the role young professionals can play in shaping Namibia's nuclear and uranium narrative?
So one thing that is very, very important, and that we are, and I always say we are deliberate about it, is we want to ensure that the young voice is being heard. We want to do away with this thing where the young people are the future leaders. We want to be able to sit at the table that is having the conversation right now, right here, because we want a situation where leadership continuity is happening, where, let's say, for example, a person that is an expert in a certain field is sitting at a table, but then there must be a young person that is sitting to understand how the programs are being enacted, how the processes are going through, and also to ensure that that continuity, whether that is now through governance, whether that is now through understanding the aspects of how the laws and regulations are being let's say, enacted. So it's important for us that the young voices are at the table where the critical conversations are being had, and also to ensure that, let's say, for example, if we are having a conversation that has to deal with the future of the country, we are, as alluded to, the future of the country, why must we be absent in that conversation? We need to be present so that we're able to decide and also be participants in that.
I hear how passionate you are by the way that you are talking right now. But perhaps just for young people that want to join your organization, is there a fee, or how do they take part in this whole process? So
we have actually started, and thank you for that, we have actually started a membership drive. We are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook. So what we have done and decided for this year is we are going to waive all membership fees. So there are various categories for membership. So our critical areas that we are currently having on social media is we have a Facebook page, we have a LinkedIn page, and then we also have a WhatsApp group, which is actually the core where we give all our information through. So they can just look for the Association of Young Generation in Nuclear of Namibia, or even just NAM YGN on Google, because I see like NAM YGN is now just exploding all over the place. So once they've gone on one of the pages, there are links that are pinned to the top of the pages, and they can go through WhatsApp, join the WhatsApp group, they can join the Facebook page, they can join the LinkedIn page. So we are in conversations with various stakeholders in order to ensure and also to drive this membership drive.
Noble, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us on this important organization, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. That was Noble Eiaseb, founder and executive director of Namibia Young Generations in Nuclear, sharing the growth and success of the association. We'll be back with more interviews after this.